I'm going to give you 3 reasons why you want to get the new 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor. This is in shelter green over Recaro black. Ford performance is back. One of the best in class for off-road capabilities and your daily use, all blended in as a truck, and yet it has performance like a sports car. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to touch bases on some pros and cons to reveal the 3 reasons why you want to option the new Ford Raptor, starting with 33 inches fording through water. That's nearly 3 feet. So when you're talking about like a Land Rover, this has more capabilities than that. You get the skid plate in the front. The grille is going to be enlarged. That integrates into the C-structure headlamp assembly with the rigid LED headlights, standard LED quad beam with daytime runnings, optional adaptive LED projectors, automatic leveling, dynamic bending, amber lights on the side and on the top of the grille, as well as the hood vent with the Raptor print. 12 inches of ground clearance, so when you're thinking about going off-road, this is going to tackle that, which is the first reason why I would get this, because you not only have 450 horsepower that's coming out of that 3.5 liter twin turbo V6, 510 pound-feet of torque, and that's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now you have different driving modes, so you could do your Baja, you could do your rock crawl. This thing is capable of doing all of that and still driving it on pavement. Now, standard is a 35-inch all-terrain wheel. You can option what we have, the Raptor R wheel. This is a 37 by 12.5 and a 17-inch rim, and I like putting that with this because now you're getting full capabilities. Yes, you're not getting that upgraded horsepower and performance, but you're still getting a towing at 8,200 pounds and a payload around 1,410 pounds. With a high lock transfer case that has a 2-speed automatic 4-wheel drive system, Ford badging on the running boards, and the fenders flare out, keeping that bold stance. And with this paint palette, I feel it looks a lot more unique than any Raptor that I've actually reviewed, achieving 14 mpgs for the city, 18 mpgs for the highway. Now, this is not the most capable F-150 or F-Series truck in its class, but this is the most unique vehicle. And last year, we got the Fox dual live valve shocks with wider front tow hooks. And now we can't forget about the Ram, because that's the only vehicle that can really scale up to this level in the sense of having more horsepower. It's going to have more towing capabilities, but then the ground clearance, this is going to be better. And of course, the GMC Sierra AT4X, that's going to offer the optional Multimatic DSSV dampers that includes a locking rear differential and a multi-mode transfer case, so you have off-road capabilities that it can feature. But when it comes to styling, the Raptor still has more of that aggressive approach. It's just known for its off-road capabilities and on-pavement movement. With a 360-degree reverse camera, blacked out tow hooks with the blacked out exhaust, you know performance is in mind because this is Ford performance all built in. Soft to open, you just push the button and it's going to go so into 66 inches long, 65.2 inches is the width of the floor, 50.6 inches between the wheel well housing, giving us 52.8 cubic feet. You're gonna have 2 home plugs right here. Push this light, and now you have your LED lighting in the trunk or the bed. Open this, and you got a little storage cubby. And to get in, push this, pull this forward. Now that you got everything there, you have a little step that you can just step inside, so it makes it easy to load anything inside the Raptor. The nice thing that they've implemented here is you have your measuring, and you could use this as a table, so if you want to put a saw on there, you could just clamp it down, so it makes it a little bit easier. But this is a Raptor. We need to go inside, start it up, so you can hear that exhaust now. E-fob to the F-150 Raptor. Recaro style seating, 10-way power seat adjustment for the driver and passenger. You get the Ford print here, contrast stitch, it's perforated, heated, ventilated, Raptor embossed. Memory for the driver. And with the Raptor, You're gonna sit up high, but that's always a plus with 14 speakers through B&Os. You get the contrast stitch, you get a storage pocket right here in front of the B&O sound system, 2 glove box, so it makes storage more optimal for the front occupants with that carbon fiber inlays. And you got a storage sleeve here because you don't have a full pass-through, but what I like is on the passenger side, you got the home plug, 12 volt. It's very easy for the accessibility. And you got a little area here that you could put some Tic Tacs or some gum. Let's fire it up. Ford performance is in mind, and you're going to have 2 enlarged screens with wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. What I like about this is you can see everything still, or if you want to make it a bigger view. But this is a cool feature because look, you could see the camera in the bed while you're driving. You can also change that so you have your zone lighting. So if you're doing any camping, you could turn on the lights around the vehicle. Off-road page, Ford Pass 5G capabilities, Wi-Fi hotspot. You can do your YouTube through here for your towing capabilities, and it also records feedback.
Record any likes, dislikes, or suggestions about the experiences with your vehicle, and then select send.
And that will go to Ford. I think that is awesome because now Ford is starting to try to listen to the client or customer so that way they can see what they can do to improve the vehicle. Driver assist, easy. Turn anything on and off. And I like that the screen isn't so overly sized because I actually watched a TikTok video. It was quite funny. The guy put like a 32-inch screen in front of it. He said, I just updated my screens. I thought that was crazy. You get the Ford Series badging right here, the 360-degree camera, so that way if you're doing any trail, you can also see it going forward. You can change different layouts of the camera to make it a little bit more easier for anything. Dual climate control settings, and you still have physical buttons, so I appreciate that. Wireless charging pad, USB-C. Close this up and you get the carbon fiber inlays. Got a little storage area here. This also goes inside. Why does it do that? So you can fold this out and now you can use this as a work table. And I'm a YouTuber, so I actually use my tablet and my iPad whenever I'm going anywhere to do reviews. So I could actually do that here in the Raptor. It's pretty cool because it's a truck, so you can get everything done. It's soft to touch, opens up into a deep storage pocket. You got change holder, you get a card holder, you can put a bunch of garbage there, pick that up, and you have more storage that goes even deeper with some USB ports there. And it carries on with a sleeve of storage with a leather wrap steering wheel. You get the 12 o'clock, multi-function, Raptor print, contrast stitch, paddle shifts, and the gauge cluster is a digital reader that can go through an array of different content for the driver, including your Raptor information. This will show you the status, the pitch and roll, show the gauges, measurements, your tire pressure, the compass. You have every single thing that you need right here. You also have a little R button. When you click onto it, that will go into your Raptor setting, so that way you don't have to go through all these different settings. When you click this button here, it will change the exhaust mode, so it'll make it a little bit more sporty, and you can also make it a little bit more quiet. Leg space is going to be more than enough. Heads-up display and headroom. This is the best part about it. A large panel that goes into the back. You got 6 different switches here that you can set for different power access for your lighting, your winch, different electronical devices, auto dimming rear view mirror, LED interior lighting, and you'll still have room to put your sunglasses. Here's the home link. It's going to be on the sun visor, door panel, and dashboard. It doesn't really configure it together, but Ford has done this so that way you can see a little bit better for the side view mirrors. One touch-up down for the front windows, dual pane front windows, soft to touch where it needs to be, 2 tiers of storage, but buttons, they carry on right here for your lighting, as well as the power movable pedals. For the back, it's literally like an SUV. That's the opening that you have. You get the contrast stitch, you get the carbon fiber, the B&Os comes into play, 2 tiers of storage just like the front, soft to touch. The running boards is gonna make it easy with the grab handle right here. But before we go inside, you have more cargo. You pull this lever here, and you got storage that's gonna be underneath. And you can also close this up so you have more or less a flat floor, so I appreciate that. And when you put this down, now you'll still have storage underneath there, so it makes it a little bit easier for a long journey. Storage gonna be behind both of the front seats. You're taken care of with charging because you got 2 USB-C ports, home plug, 12 volt. Heated rear seats, cup holders here in the center. Check out the leg space that I have now. Headroom, 6'3". It is a little bit tight for me. I'm almost hitting the headliner because of the way the pano moonroof comes into the play. But sliding into the center shows that it's literally like an SUV, but you have a truck bed, so you have a sufficient amount of room. This headroom is still going to be a little bit cramped. You have your hangers here, and you'll have your cup holders with an armrest here if you just want to fit two in the back. And the Raptor badging carries on into the back seats. 450 horsepower with 510 pound-feet of torque. I like the exhaust note that filters in. Now, obviously, I would prefer a V8, but I'm okay with the twin-turbo V6 high-output engine because you have a lot of performance underneath the hood of this vehicle, and it's capable of doing everything on and off road, so I appreciate that. The ground clearance is by far one of the best, especially when you're considering as a total package. You don't have to add anything to it. It's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros, you've heard a ton of them, but there's still a few more. The interior is more than comfortable. It's quiet. It's one of the most quiet vehicles in class. The only thing that you're going to hear is that exhaust note, and I can lower it so that way you don't hear it at all. The 14 speakers through B&Os, it's nice. I wish that it had a little bit more speakers through the cabin, only because it would just be, I mean, you're at a 90 grand price point. We don't get anything like massage seats. They don't offer anything like that at this price, especially for a truck. To make it stand out a little bit more so, I would like to see that, because when you go into Ram, you can get that. The screen configuration isn't overly big and it configures into the dash, so I appreciate that. The carbon fiber, it actually looks fake. That's one thing that just blows my mind, because it doesn't feel like real carbon fiber because they put this cover over it in which it makes it feel like plastic. The reason why I would get this is because it's a daily use vehicle. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it's performance driven, it's ticking the box to a lot. And this is with the exhaust where it's basically muted or in quiet mode. Maneuverability isn't no issue at all. You do have a little bit of weight to the steering, but it's to be expected because this is an off-road animal. And the only other problems that I can find in the interior, there's just a lot of buttons. I kind of wish they would clean it up just a little bit more so, because it's very similar to Chevy and GMC before they did the updates for the interior. Even with it on quiet, you can still hear it come in a little bit. I just like it in sport. Filters out everything from the exterior. Turn radius is gonna be about 2 1/4 lanes. That's pretty tight. Let's rock and roll. Fun to drive vehicle. When you're talking about an experience that's gonna give you everything in one package, that's why this stands out more so than the competition, giving me the third reason why I would get this. It still has luxury amenities because how soft the interior is. You have more than enough tech. It's 5G capabilities. You have a table that folds out so you can use this as a work or as a daily use vehicle. I could see somebody getting a speeding ticket quick with this though, because when I'm looking at the heads-up display that literally covers up like 1/4 of the windscreen, it shows me that I'm going a little bit fast most of the time. And yet I'm sitting on 37 by 12.5 at 17-inch wheels. I'm not feeling any of the imperfections, and these are all-terrain tires. Those shocks, they're doing their job. And I can't wait until the auto start stop function gets thrown away. The EPA, which I talk about these things on my live streams, is going to start making it not as common in the upcoming cars. So I'm imagining more towards the end of 26, 27 variants, but that's going to be great because with this vehicle, every time you push the R, if you push it twice to see your status, it will take that auto start stop button that I clicked off and turn it back on, which drives me insane because I don't want to use auto start stop in this particular motor. I want to enjoy the exhaust, I want to enjoy the drive, because that's why I'm buying a Raptor. And as for competition, even though the Ram has more horsepower than this and the TRX is coming back for 2026, right now I still feel that the Raptor is one of those sweet spot vehicles because of the pricing that you get. Unfortunately, you are losing some features in the interior and performance numbers and towing capabilities compared to Ram. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video right here. And I'd like to thank our friends here at Furman Ford for giving us this 2025 Ford F-150 Raptor for our car review.